Another quick move over the weekend, as Fabinho liking its speed, is the fact that Paul Hurst, after an extraordinary
Can I come in
successful
now?
time at Shrewsbury as well,
Okay.
he was a manager, of course, famously a Rotherham player as well, is the man selected post Mick McCarthy to give Ipswich the bump that they're looking forward to. And now we spoke to this gentleman at the start of the season, who's Ben Bloom, and he's the Blue Monday podcast man. And Ben, good morning to you.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Nathan.
How you
mate,
doing,
you
man?
all right?
Now, of course, you and I spoke several months ago as the season was sort of like burgeoning still, and Mick McCarthy was still very much your man, and probably wasn't going to be anything other different. It didn't feel like. So, little change of pace. Are you happy initially? Let's deal with that.
Well, we're happy that the the kind of never-ending who's the next manager going to be. Obviously, McCarthy walked out, slamming his teacup down about 6 weeks ago now, and there's just been lots and lots of basically guessing because we've heard nothing from the owner other than someone's going to be named before the end of May and we're going in a new direction. It's rumbled and rumbled. The League One playoff final finishes. Apparently, there might have been some kind of dubious phone call yesterday morning that the Shrewsbury chief exec isn't happy about. And
okay. Dubious phone call committee meeting then tomorrow, everybody at the FA. Thank you. Yes.
And at about 9:30 last night, it had been announced that. I mean, it's not been announced that he's definitely taken over yet, but compensation has been agreed for Hurst and his assistant Chris Doig, and he's been given permission to talk. So it looks like it's going to be happening pretty soon.
Given permission to talk, obviously that's about the manager. It's not going to be like, hey, how's your day been?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, idle chit chat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he comes in now. What you're getting, I guess, is a younger manager with newer ideas. But do you think he's a step forward in terms of the way that you assume the football will be?
Well, I think it's what everybody wanted. I mean, the names we were linked with all and sundry. So we had the experienced, Pardew, Holloway, Mowbray. Then we had Gerrard and Lampard, who haven't done any management. I think, given the last two managers, or the last three, Keane, Jewell, and McCarthy, I think most of the fans wanted something new, and it was sort of Danny Cowley, Jack Ross, who's just gone to Sunderland, and Hurst. So you probably guess from being around Ipswich fans that it's become a slightly grumpy place over the last 17 years in the Championship. So
that's a drip torture of the highest order. That is.
Well, absolutely, and so I think the idea that it's somebody from the lower divisions. I mean, he's been promoted with Ilkeston, Boston, and Grimsby, and Shrewsbury. I mean, I was at Wembley on Sunday.
Running the old measure over him, was you?
Well, and our right back was on loan. Josh Emmanuel was on loan at Rotherham.
Oh,
so
commendable.
Yeah, doing some research there. They were well beaten by Rotherham, but a lot of people have pointed out that it was game number 62. There's lone players in there. They've finished third with 87 points. He's done a very, very good job, and he shouldn't just be judged on that one game.
But also, at the start of the season, I remember Shrewsbury were one of the favourites for relegation. So to get from there to where they finished, it's got to be commendable.
Indeed.
Honestly, Nathan, I've taken no interest in Shrewsbury until about the last two. The last 2 weeks. I'm not going to claim to be an expert now, but I will bow to your superior knowledge on that.
Well, exactly right. I mean, they never quite got there in the end. But I looked at his Grimsby record was remarkably good. When he eventually took over by himself, he has sole charge for 90 games. He won 90 games, drew 46, lost 46. The Shrewsbury are sort of functional looking unit, and I guess he's having to work with what he's got. Are you hoping for football? Because of course this has been the problem as much as anything else you lot, Ben, isn't it? Is that you didn't like the way that Mick played his football? Are you hoping for a change of pace there?
I think we are. I think the two things we're hoping for. One is that the young players that our previous manager didn't necessarily trust, Kenlock, Emmanuel, Nydam, Downs, Falami, Dazelle that they get a go. But yes, I do agree. We did see a 4-2-3-1 on Sunday with a big guy up front, but perhaps.
Hello, you said that seems familiar.
I recognise this, yeah. And the big guy was on loan from Norwich as well, just to make things
dear.
things a little bit. No, I'm sure he's young and intelligent and pragmatic, and when he sees people like Grant Ward and Flynn Downs, Martin Waghorn, who can all, play good football, that we think possibly they were a little bit dumbed down under the previous manager. The proof's in the pudding. Anyway, all the be careful what you wish for crowd will be waiting to see us bottom of the league, so we hope that it doesn't pan out that way.
Wait. It can't get any worse, I don't think. 'Cause I remember when McCarthy announced he was going, and he did look like a beaten down man. He looked like an uncle at a wedding who was just ready to go home.
The bags under the eyes were growing each week, weren't they?
That's right. Yeah. Anyone need a lift? I'm driving. I'm going now. It's 8:30. I'm off. Yeah. I am out of it. And given the fact you've only had the 17 years of hurt, are you prepared to? Do you sense that he will be given time to kind of bed in his ideas, because obviously this is important with something like this. He's got to learn his trade at a different level now.
Yeah, this is Ipswich though. We've had 16 managers in 140 years. We're famous for giving time to managers. He'll definitely. I don't know how long the contract will be, but for all the people criticise Marcus Evans, he's certainly. I mean, some people would say too loyal. He's certainly loyal to his managers. And as much as we come across as whining fans, Ipswich fans are very realistic. We know where we stand, and we just want to see the team with ambition to win games, not be overly pragmatic. We want to see some young players through, and we want to see some goals.
Well, I'll tell you what, after 17 years, he's probably just got to turn up and smile benignly, and the whole place will be in absolute raptures. Ben, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks,
there
Nathan.
you go, Ben Bloom, discussing the fact.